Since you're so busy, Sergeant, you know I don't mind driving.
No, I can handle it, Commissioner. I can handle it.
You should have gotten the number of that dentist that Sykes was recommending so highly.
Well, as a matter of fact, sir, I did.
Oh, good. When's your appointment?
Huh? Oh, it's right about now.
You sure you don't want me to drive?
No, I'm fine, sir. I'm fine. Commissioner, I wish you'd remember that I'm the one with the gun.
Thank you, Sergeant. I'll try to keep that in mind.
Who do you think it was, sir?
I don't know. Let's go see what he didn't want us to see.
Hello?
Evie. Oh, Evie. This is Arthur. Evie. I must see you. I must see you, Evie.
Where are you?
At the old beach house. Oh, hurry. Hurry to me, Evie.
Yes. Yes, I'll be there.
Enright. Arthur Kendall's tobacco. Special blend.
Well, now we know where he got the stuff to frighten Mrs. Kendall. He being whoever's impersonating Arthur Kendall.
But why? Why smoke it when no one else is around, unless you enjoy it?
Well, you know how it is, sir. You try it.
Enright.
You like it. Commissioner? Whoever it was had female company. Take a look.
That's the dress Nora Dane wore the night of the séance.
Then you think that she was the one that opened the door that night?
Now I do.
Well, then Nora's husband, Joe, must be our ghost. She just pretended that he was overseas. Actually, he was here all the time trying to gaslight Mrs. Kendall.
Why? Nora and Joe have nothing to gain if Evie's put away. Only Arthur Kendall, her husband, could get the money.
Well, maybe they made a deal with Arthur Kendall. Well, that's no good. He's dead. This thing really hurts. Who else had a motive? Yeah, that's better. You know, sir, I bet I wind up needing a bridge just like Sykes. It's expensive, too. Because you always have to have two of them made in case you lose one or one gets broken or...
Enright?
Oh, I'm sorry about the odor, sir, but it really helps.
You're a genius.
Well?
Call that dentist.
From here?
Find out if Arthur Kendall had a spare plate made.
That's it. Kendall had a spare, and he stuck it in the corpse's mouth.
And pick up Evie. I want her in protective custody. And put out an APB on Arthur Kendall.
Yes, sir. Boy, an all-points bulletin on a dead man. Wait till we hear this one. Commissioner?
Yeah?
If Arthur Kendall is alive, who's dead?
I'll get the answer to that right now.
Arthur Kendall is dead, Mac. You've got to believe me.
You're lying, Nora. Arthur Kendall is alive, and you're conspiring with him to drive Evie insane.
Oh, Mac, I'm surprised.
Come off it, Nora. School's out.
You don't know what you're saying.
Don't I?
No.
You think an investigation won't prove you and Arthur are having an affair?
Oh, all right. So we had an affair. So what?
So what? Out of that affair came the plan to get Evie's money and take off.
Oh, now you're the one
Of
who's
course,
crazy.
you had to get rid of a husband, and Arthur had to get rid of a wife. It worked out
isn't
just fine,
true.
didn't it?
It isn't.
Get Evie committed! Not too difficult where a man as clever as Arthur is concerned.
Mac, you're wrong.
Am I? Mm-hmm. Something went wrong that night at the cabin, didn't it? Your cute little trick backfired, and all of a sudden you're involved in a murder.
Mac, you're wrong. You are dead wrong.
Am I? Why don't we ask Joe? Why don't we call Joe in Hong Kong and ask him? Or maybe we'd be wasting our time because Joe's dead. That is Joe in the coffin, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, that's Joe. Poor dumb Joe. No matter what you think, it started off without wanting anyone dead. It began when Arthur invited Joe and me up to the cabin for the weekend. Joe, he had no idea what was up. He just thought it was fun time.
Then Arthur called Evie and said he was up there.
Yes, that was the plan. When she arrived, I was to say, why, Evie, don't you remember? You phoned me and invited Joe and me to spend the weekend here. Then when she went home, Arthur was going to insist that he hadn't called her at all. He was at a motel halfway down the mountain, waiting to get the results. But it got late and Joe and I went to bed. Then in the middle of the night, there was a knock on the door, and I told Joe that must be Evie.
Then Arthur planted his own ID on Joe's body. Wristwatch, ring, wallet, and spare dental plate.
Joe's unrecognizable. I don't know how I let Arthur talk me into this. You see, he figured that if Evie wasn't found guilty of murder, he would just destroy her as his own ghost. Clever, huh?
Yeah, clever.
A clever, clever man. And such a good actor. When I phoned him at the motel to tell him what had happened, he really made me believe that he hadn't planned it at all. Actually had me convinced that Evie really had done it. And I used to think Joe was the dumb one.
If Arthur was at the motel, he couldn't have killed Joe.
Then Evie did do it.
Evie's not here, sir. Dr. Spake talked to her on the phone, asked her not to go out tonight, but she wouldn't listen to him. She took a gun. She told him that she was going to go out to the beach house and kill Arthur Kendall. Now, I've looked everywhere for that address, sir, but I can't find it. Dr. Spake doesn't know where it is either. I can't find anybody who does.
Well, I can. You were there 3 or 4 summers ago, Sally. Now try and remember.
I'm trying, Mac. I remember the street, and then I remember I used to turn right at a billboard. I remember the billboard because it used to say Wilson for DA, and that was that guy that you caught trying to bribe the jury.
Well, don't you remember a more current landmark?
Yes, there. Mother Boland's brown bread. Turn right there, right there.
This is it, Mac, I'm sure. Oh, Mac, we're too late.
Phone's dead. Call for the car.
It's Arthur. It's Arthur Kendall. It's Evie's.
That's correct, Enright. Yeah, the ambulance is leaving now. Yes, he's alive.
We put out an APB on Mrs. Kendall. And Nora Dane's been booked on criminal conspiracy.
Very good.
Anything else I can do, sir?
Yeah. Get a good night's sleep.
Thank you, sir.
Feel okay?
Poor Evie. Imagine being driven to murder.
You think she shot Arthur?
You don't?
Not with that fight that went on in the house.
Of course, Evie's no match for Arthur. He must have fought with a man.
Or if we believe in the Equal Opportunity Act, a very strong woman.
Mac, come on, you're onto something.
Well, let's start with the murder of Nora's husband, Joe. Nora says she didn't do it. Evie says she didn't do it.
Who do you think's telling the truth?
Well, maybe they both are.
But if that's the case, we're out of suspects.
Well, there are plenty of suspects, but we're out of his clues.
Well, anyway, at least Arthur's alive.
At least you don't have to believe in ghosts, any. Sally, I love you.
You better. What did I do? Well, at least tell me what I said.
That's what I said.
Central, go ahead, sir.
Sergeant Enright, quickly. Sally, suppose somebody loved Evie very much and knew she was being driven insane.
And he killed Joe that night, thinking it was Arthur?
Suppose Arthur was about to kill Evie, and somebody walked in on him.
They fought, and he got Evie's gun, and he shot him.
Now, what would your average run-of-the-mill killer do in a case like that?
Kill Evie to get rid of all the witnesses.
Unless he thought she was the most beautiful, most exquisite woman in the world.
Harry Hastings.
And right, sir.
Sergeant, get a squad and meet me at Harry Hastings immediately.
Yes, sir.
You stay here.
But Mac.
Wait in the car and wait for the police. Sally, go back outside.
As you know, I'm not frightened, but I'll just stay with you so you can see I'm not frightened.
Come on.
Tell me those are not bats.
Okay, they're not bats.
Mac, why is he doing this?
Because they're the weapons he knows the best. Come on, do you think he can make it?
Evie!
My last illusion. She isn't dead. She's just resting. She'll wake up in a few minutes.
Is that the only way you could get her to come with you? Hypnosis?
Well, fortunately, Mac, it's part of my trade. You see, mesmerizing an audience helps create certain illusions, makes them quite real, quite real. You agree, don't you, Sally? Mac?
Mac, he's hypnotizing us.
Harry, forget it.
Yes, of course, you're too strong a supplement.
No use, Harry. Police are on their way.
The police? I have catacombs here. I have underground passages. You'll not be able to find me. I'm going to keep her here. She's going to be with me. She'll be mine. I'm going to protect her. I'm going to protect her from all of you. See, Mac, it's so simple. I love her. I have always loved her. I tried to explain that to her, that I didn't want her to be hurt anymore. No, Mac, don't do it.
Harry, think of Evie. Think how she'll feel when she finds out you've killed us. Huh? Evie won't love you anymore.
Oh, yes, she'll understand. She doesn't trust you anymore. She trusts me now. No. I'm the one she called when she went to meet Arthur at the beach house. It was me.
Then why hypnotize her? It's because she stopped trusting you when she saw you shoot Arthur. And she'll hate you if you do this, Harry.
No.
She'll hate you forever.
No, Matt,
She'll
don't say
hate
it.
you.
Don't say it, Joe. She won't hate me. She'll love me. She will love me.
How do you like my fine feathered friend?
Be glad you don't have to clean his cage. There. Careful.
You're gonna be all right, Evie.
Harry.
Fool me for a minute. Didn't even act like a regular ghost. Showing up at a séance and accusing somebody of murder who didn't even do it.
Arthur thought Evie had done it.
Well, how could he think that when he wasn't even dead?
Oh, Evie, that's marvelous.
And that Harry Hastings, what did he think when the ghost said Evie murdered him?
Well, what do you think? He thought he'd gotten away with it.
Well, if Arthur really had been dead, he could have used his supernatural powers.
Harry didn't think about that.
Okay, bye, Evie. Evie sends you 40 million kisses, and I'm to deliver them personally.
Oh, Mildred.
Yeah, right. Good night. Oh, do you think it's safe to take the hemlock off the door?
Yes, Mildred. And the juniper, and the henbane.
Right.
Okay, Mr. Smart Guy, before all this kissing starts, give a girl a break. What was the big clue that made all the lights pop on and say Harry Hastings?
You don't know?
I don't know.
You almost guessed it yourself.
I know. I almost guessed it was something that you said when they put Arthur in the ambulance.
I said you don't have to believe in ghosts anymore.
Of course, Harry Hastings believed completely in the ghost of Arthur Kendall because he believed that he had killed him. Oh, I should have gotten that.
Hey. 40 million, right here.
Coming, Master.